What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Like I mentioned in my last video, I'm gonna be making an effort to be a bit more consistent on the channel, especially in times like these where I feel like putting out some sort of positive message on a daily basis is really important for the viewers, for a lot of people out there. I wanted to take a moment. We thought it would be a good idea for us to touch on some of the things that we're practicing on a day-to-day basis to keep our sanity and get through this whole quarantine situation. You know, our mental, physical, and emotional health is super important right now. I think there's a lot of people out there that are suffering from what's going on. A lot of people having a hard time coping with being home 24/7 pretty much, unless you're going out for necessities. You know, all the news is going around, all the things that we absorb, especially on social media, are having a very deep negative impact on all of us. And we felt it, and I'm not one to typically suffer from anxiety or anything like that, but it's been challenging. Point number one that I'd like to start with is expressing gratitude. Those who follow me on Instagram will know that I'm really adamant about this. I feel like starting your day off, taking a moment to express what you're thankful for is super essential to starting your day off right. And like me, for example, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I like to do is walk up to the window, open it, and take a breath of fresh air and appreciate the sound of the birds, the greenery that's in front of me, the fact that I'm alive and I feel good and I have good health, and you know that we have a roof over our heads and that we're about to have a bomb breakfast that we normally cook. So these things are things that we shouldn't be taken for granted ever. But in times like these, when your situation can be so much worse, we gotta express gratitude for these things. And one of the things that I love that I've been using for the last couple of years is the 5-minute journal. I wish these people would sponsor me because I've recommended this to so many people, especially on my Instagram story. Diana likes to write in her journal. I used to do the same thing originally, but I found it more convenient to just download the app. It's like $5 on the App Store. And every morning I pick up my phone and the first thing that I do is open the app, and it gives you a really good quote typically. And then I just write the things that I feel super grateful for that morning. And it just helps set the tone for, you know, the beginning of your day so that you're positive minded and you're appreciative and you're ready to tackle things with a positive mindset. One thing to tack on to the whole, you know, gratitude thing is some form of meditative practice. And by that, I don't mean like deep meditation or anything like that, but just taking some time in the morning to just clear your head and meditate on your future plans, your motivation, the things that make you happy. And this is something that's widely practiced by many successful people, and it works. Tip number 2 is exercise. I mean, this one's an obvious one. I do see a lot of people exercising on Instagram, so I'm glad a lot of people are taking the initiative to add some exercise to their lives, but just felt the need to mention it anyway. Taking 30 to 45 minutes a day to either jog, stretching, look through YouTube and find a bunch of good exercise videos. There's a ton of influencers that are sharing like exercising techniques and tips and videos, free workout programs. Guys, take advantage of this. What better time for you to build your summer bod than now when you're pretty much stuck home and you don't even have to go and show it off. So point number 3 is learning how to cook. But one of the things that now I feel like we're honing into our cooking skills, and I think everybody should partake in cooking at home. Because honestly, you don't have a choice. A lot of people don't have a choice right now. So look up recipes. Pinterest is great for this. Look up recipes before you have to go out and do any type of food shopping, and stock up. Get double of the things that you're gonna need. And cooking can be super fun, especially if you're cooking as a couple. It's always a thing of celebration for Diane and I every time we work on a new dish that we've never tried before and it comes out super bomb. And you can always share it on social and make all your friends jealous. You can have friendly competitions. Shout out to my man, Chef Kelvin. He's inspired us a lot throughout this quarantine.
Look at this beauty. How can you not want to jump in?
We're often sending him some of our stories and he's given us a thumbs up. He's definitely an inspiration that keeps us motivated to keep cooking. And if you guys want any tips of any of the stuff that we've done in our stories, just hit us up. We'll be happy to share some of the recipes that we've worked on ourselves. Number 4 is a very important one. Right now is the best time for you to educate yourself. You know, I see a lot of people on social media posting about they're bored, they're having a hard time because they don't find anything to do at home. You obviously have access to the internet because you're posting on social. The internet is your best teacher. And what better time to pick up a new craft, new skill set, learn about something new, something that you've always been passionate about that you haven't had the time to pursue because you've been too busy with work or too busy with your kids, now is the time. Now is the time for you to elevate yourself and pick up a new skill set and figure out how to make money from home. There's so many things, so many different platforms out there that you can use to educate yourself. A couple of days ago, we shared a link to udemy.com. They have a ton of courses and they had a flash sale for like 48 hours. And there were courses on there for like 10 bucks, 15 bucks, 20 bucks that typically cost a lot more money. You know, teach yourself how to do Excel, teach yourself how to do a little bit of Adobe. Anybody that has to do any type of marketing for their business, now is the time for you to learn how to become self-dependent and learn how to do some of these things on your own. You know, a lot of these courses will help you occupy a lot of your time and they can become super fun also. One of my biggest teachers has been YouTube. I learned how to do photography on YouTube. Most of my graphic design skills came from YouTube. I have a BA in graphic design and that probably taught me like 5% of what I know. Most of the stuff that I know, I literally learned online on my own. And that brings me to my next point number 5, and that's reading. Reading is something that's been life-changing for me. Lately, I haven't been reading as much as I used to, but when I turned 30, I'm 35 now, I read 3 books that completely changed my life for the better. And I want to share these books with you guys. Before I turned 30, I was not reading at all. And one day, somebody that I knew recommended I read this one book that completely changed the course of my life. And I'm forever grateful for that. There's a handful of books that I want to recommend you guys that were very impactful for me. And I learned a lot of things that I was able to implement into my own life that, got me one step closer to actually becoming happy, like really happy. And they've contributed to my success. It's contributed to my mental health. It's just so many positive things that I've gotten from reading. So book number 1 is 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. My life did a complete 180 after I read this book. And for those of you who haven't read it, I highly recommend it. This book helped me truly find what it was that I was passionate about and helped me realize that chasing money was not the way of life. Like, I was chasing money my entire 20s. I was working super hard, barely ever made time for myself or my family. And I thought that me becoming rich was gonna change everything for me. And when I turned 30 and I read this book, I realized that that's not what's important in life. And what's important in life is how you spend your time, because that's the one thing that's way more valuable than money. And it just helped my entire mentality shift. And when I did that, everything changed, and everything changed for the better. I became liberated. I made more time for myself. I made more time for my family, my closest friends. And I started dedicating more time to the things that brought me fulfillment. It allowed me more time to give back and add value to others. And for me, that's been super rewarding. Serve No Master by Jonathan Green is the second book that I'm gonna recommend. This was the one that actually motivated me to start a YouTube channel. And I'll talk about YouTube a little bit later. This guy gives you a different perspective of how to live your life and how to break away from that 9 to 5 and pursue your dreams and your passions and figure out how to turn your passion into a lucrative source of income. Number 3 is Tools of Titans, also by Tim Ferriss. And in this book, I found super interesting because he interviewed like 200 different people and he basically put all of their answers in this book. Successful people that have basically done it all, from athletes to entrepreneurs to actors, you name it. He basically found all the commonalities that all of these people had and what made them successful, and he put them in this book. Book number 4 is called Linchpin. If you are the type of person that keeps a job and you love what you do, there's nothing wrong with that. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. And this book just basically teaches you how to become the best in your field and in your company, and gives you a lot of valuable tips and teaches you how to become indispensable. And the last one that I'm gonna recommend, which I actually read more recently, I think within the last year, is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad basically teaches you the concept of eliminating all of your liabilities and focusing on building your assets. And to me, that's like super important, especially life in America. It's very common for us to get into debt, especially with school debt and things of that nature. And schools don't really teach you how to become financially independent or how to create jobs, how to create more assets for yourself. And there's tons of books out there that are super helpful, but I'm sharing these because these are the ones that were life-changing for me. I'm hopeful and I think they will be life-changing for you as well. Next on my list, number 6, is pick up a new hobby. Whether it's music, whether it's writing, art, photography, blogging, picking up a hobby this day and age can literally become lucrative for you. Which brings me to my next point, which is point number 7, and that's start a YouTube channel. As cliche as it sounds, guys, YouTube is the only platform that actually pays you for your viewership. And the key to YouTube is not to create amazing videos. You know, you don't have to put out the best content. The key to YouTube is consistency. And I think it's never late for you to start a YouTube channel. And you'll be surprised as to, you know, how many people can take to the content that you create. I mean, there are YouTube channels that focus on like such specific things and they amass a following because there's so many people out there that are into the same things that you're into. And if you can shed some light or information or figure out an entertaining way for you to shed light on a specific subject or blog about something or blog, you'll be surprised as to how quickly you can amass a following. And like I said, the key is consistency. As long as you're consistent, there's a pretty good chance that you'll be able to grow your channel. Once you pass like 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 subscribers, you're gonna start getting a check naturally. The cool thing about creating YouTube videos is that they exist forever. So even when you're not posting videos, whenever there's new people being introduced to your channel, they're going and watching some of your other old videos and it starts building up over time to the point where now you're creating passive income even when you're not posting content. You spend a lot of time on Instagram, but Instagram isn't paying a lot of people's bills. Unless you have like an online business of some sort that you're able to market on Instagram and it's giving you back some sort of, you know, ROI, but other than that, YouTube is the only platform that actually pays you for the amount of viewership that you have. Point number 8 is learn about investing. I know a lot of people are struggling financially right now, but for those of you who had maybe some money saved, or for those of you who are still keeping a job and still seeing some income and your income hasn't been compromised, right now is a perfect time to be looking into how to invest your money. Stocks have plummeted. Right now is a really amazing time for you to find opportunity in stocks, in the cryptocurrency market, the Forex market. Start looking into having some real estate investments. There's a ton of videos on YouTube that touch into all these things. All you gotta do is search. Udemy.com also has a lot of courses about investment. Also, one misconception is that you need to have a lot of money to make investments, and you really don't. You can start small. There's a lot of firms or there's a lot of websites out there that allow you to invest into stocks in a very small way. I recently learned that there's certain platforms that allow you to invest into like a group of stocks. So you don't have to like buy one whole share, let's say Facebook. You can go and invest into this whole group of stocks and it could be $100 and they're basically gonna take your money and divide it up into a bunch of different companies. And then you're gonna get dividends on that on a yearly basis. And if you don't touch your dividends, it just continues to, you can reinvest those dividends and just continue to amass that money. And you can just continue to add money as you make more money. You know, you can start small anywhere, whether it's stocks, cryptocurrencies, Forex, whatever it is, or even in real estate, there's so many different hacks and so many different ways for you to invest into properties, even if they're not within the United States. Diane and I also recently got into real estate out here in Dominican Republic. Anybody that wants information as far as doing investments outside of the States, we can also help shed some light on that. So feel free to reach out. And that leads me to my next point, which is number 9, and that's launch a business. If you had any business ideas that you just didn't have the time to work on before, right now is a perfect time to try to develop some sort of online business, a services business, whatever it is. And you don't need a ton of money for you to start a business this day and age. There's a ton of resources online, a ton of YouTube videos, how to get into drop shipping, affiliate businesses. Like I said, you don't need a lot of capital. There's businesses you can start with $100, with $500, with $1,000, with a couple $1,000. I mean, there's really no limitation this day and age. Number 10, and this is something that Diane is very adamant about, and it's organizing your home. If there's any task, anything that you left at home to do later, things packed in boxes, things laying around, now's the time to declutter. Number 11, take time out of your day to help others and figure out how to add value to your friends and your family and, you know, people who are less fortunate. I'm pretty sure that if you reach out to 10 people, you're gonna find that a number of those people are gonna be going through stress. They're gonna be going through anxiety. Some of those people that are gonna have a really difficult time isolating, and some people live alone. Some of their families might be sick, or they just need to, you know, some words of encouragement or some sort of positivity. Take the time to try to inspire somebody. And this in turn is also very rewarding for you and very fulfilling. Last but not least, I think this one is super important, and is creating a vision board. This is something that has been groundbreaking for myself, my fiance, some of my best friends, Angelique. For those of you who know her, she's the one that kind of put me onto this. And I can't even begin to tell you guys some of the stories that we have when it comes to vision boards and, you know, putting things out into the universe and manifestation. This plays a key role to your life outcomes. And you can only experience the fruits of this by trying it yourself. Anyway, that concludes. I hope I didn't bore you guys to tears. Looking forward to connecting with some of you, and thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this video or any of the other videos. And I hope to see you guys in a couple of days. Peace.